I have a confession to make. Yeah, I got scammed. If you know anything about MLMs, or if you are in the holistic healing space, you've probably heard of Young Living. Or if you're a woman in the United States, I feel like a lot of us have heard of Young Living at least. Young Living is a commercial cult. Yeah, we're starting off like that. Say it with me. MLMs are scams. They are all scams.
MLMs are scams. They are all scams.
I am here today to tell you the story of how I got scammed into joining Young Living and didn't even know it. But before we jump into that, hit that subscribe button. It happens to be 800,000 degrees where I'm at right now, and I got home from the gym and was like, let's go. It's been 3 or 4 weeks since I've filmed a video. So yeah, I got home from the gym. I'm still wearing my gym clothes. But the people need to know about Young Living. Okay, scams never sleep. I joined Young Living in like 2016, 2017, and it all begins at a church. I went to this really awesome church before I left religion. Our church was held in a community center, and the pastor's wife used to diffuse oils in the front. She also used to talk about them with the congregation, like not in a pushy way though. She was never pushy about it. Every month, instead of having a church service, we had just a potluck breakfast, which was really awesome. And she had her oils out because one of the other congregants really was interested in it. So I kind of overheard them like talking about them. I had another friend who sold for doTERRA. I kind of knew about oils and I knew that they had healing properties and stuff, but I was just curious to learn more because I have an autoimmune disorder, Graves' disease, the same one as Wendy Williams and Missy Elliott. It's an exclusive club of suffering. No, it's actually fine. But I was on this kick around this time to not necessarily heal myself, but to treat my Graves' disease in the most homeopathic, natural way possible. But I'm smart because I never like went off my meds. So that's just some context on like where I was at mentally at that time. So ever hear the conversation, I'm like kind of slide up and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, you sell these? What's the situation? You know, and I was like, I've heard of this other company, doTERRA, but I'm not quite sure like what the difference is, blah, blah, blah. Young Living actually came first, and doTERRA was created by some, what's the word? Defectors. Is that the word I'm trying to think of? Like people who leave a cult. So the pastor's wife starts telling me about it, and she's like, oh, you should sign up for it as a distributor, because if you sign up as a distributor, then you get the wholesale discount. And I was like, fuck yeah, like that's a huge discount. And I researched it and stuff. And I also kind of looked into if it was legit, and because I was like, is it organic? I was like trying to do everything organic at the time, and so that was a big concern. And she's like, well, it's not certified organic, but they have a seed to seal promise, which in hindsight is like, what the fuck does that mean? And even at the time I was like, okay, like seed to seal, okay. Blue to green promise, like what does that mean? But it's what it sounds like. They're trying to be like, oh, it doesn't reach any other processes. It's the most pure oils in the world because it just goes right from the seed of the plant or whatever to the fucking bottles, which is like, that's not even true. That doesn't make sense. Like, what is that? You know what? I'm going to put a description of what Young Living says the seed to seal promise is on the screen because I am kind of curious. And I want to give context. I want to be fair. Anyway, so I signed up as a distributor. She was like, oh, and best of all, I'm going to add you to this Facebook group, which is like my mentor and her mentor. Like they have this huge collective of other distributors and customers, and you can ask questions and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't understand like the structure of an MLM, and I was like, oh, network marketing is just like helping a fellow woman's small business. It's dominated by women, or it seems to be at least. So like, hell yeah, I'm gonna support that. Little did I know. I'm in the Facebook group and I'm like making all these concoctions and stuff, and I start out with the starter pack, which in the starter pack you get a diffuser and you get like these samples of like different oils. And you also get like some of the main oils. So like peppermint, lavender, frankincense, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. You get a bunch of oils, okay, is my point. So I got my starter pack and I was like, this is awesome. And then I would go to church and I would smell different scents coming from the diffuser. And so then I started to be like, oh, let me just like once in a while pick up a few oils because, oh, this is on sale, let me grab one. Oh, that's on sale, let me grab one. And then in the Facebook group, there were people talking about Ningxia Red. It's wolfberry, which is goji berry. There's like oils in the drink and stuff, and it's supposed to like help your energy. People are like, oh, I quit coffee because of Ningxia Red and blah, blah, blah. And it's like cured everything. And so I was like, oh my God, this is going to save me money on healthcare if I do these alternative methods. I spent so much goddamn money on this situation and I wasn't even a salesperson. Yet looking back, I do feel like I got scammed. So let's break this down. Why are MLMs scams? There are creators who do specifically anti-MLM content and I would encourage you to check them out. Cece Suarez is a big name right now. She just had a baby. She batched a lot of her content ahead of time, so she's still actually posting. But she does a really good job of breaking down why MLMs are commercial cults. Some other people that are in that space who I like are Savannah Marie, Julie Joe, and Mooncat. But to put it in lay people's terms, so MLMs are commercial cults. Yes, and I'll go into that. But they're also pyramid schemes. So let's start with the structure. People in network marketing, also known as multi-level marketing, say that pyramid schemes are way different from MLMs because they don't have a product. I also want to make the distinction between a pyramid scheme and a Ponzi scheme because they are also used interchangeably, but they're technically different. According to Investopedia.com, Ponzi schemes can be easier to detect while pyramid schemes can be hidden to make them look legitimate. So Ponzi schemes simply require a cash investment to earn returns. These were pretty popular, I want to say in the 70s and 80s, essentially before they were like openly debunked as an actual investment. But picture somebody who's like, hey, you should join this group of mine. When you join, you put in $20 and then over time you recruit people and the people at the top get payouts from the new people entering. So then once you climb that ladder, you also earn a large investment. But even if every single person is recruiting like 100 people, you will literally, which is impossible, but you would literally run out of people in the world. So they're just not sustainable, which is why they're scams, which is why they are illegal.
Yes, it is a fact that 99% of people in every MLM company ever lose money. And as far as the process of 5 people who recruit 5 people who recruit 5 people, etc., that can only happen 13 times before you run out of people on earth to recruit.
Pyramid schemes, on the other hand, need you to pay a fee and or purchase products and services in order to participate and earn income. So a lot of people in MLMs will be like, it's not a pyramid scheme because in pyramid schemes, they don't have a product. That's literally not true. It's concealed. And so a lot of MLMs have been forced to restructure, such as Herbalife, because they were operating essentially as pyramid schemes, meaning they had a product that they were selling that was not even a bad product per se, but just like, you know, a decent product that you could also buy on store shelves. But as a distributor, you don't make money selling the product itself. The real money comes from recruiting people, because when you recruit individuals, you get their startup money, their startup fees, which can range. Then that person, like take me for example, okay, I pay the startup fee of, I think my startup fee was like 60, 70, 80 bucks. Like it wasn't anything crazy. I did the cheapest package, but I paid that startup fee. And then as I'm in this circle of thought, then I was like, okay, I need to buy more. I need to buy more stuff. I need to buy more junk. And then I'm telling my friends about it. And then let's say I'm actually wanting to make money from this. Then if I recruit more people, then I'm getting their startup money, and then they begin to recruit more people. So if you enter the MLM very early and you stick with that one MLM, then you have a pretty good chance of getting rich. However, it's literally a scam because, again, you are going to run out of people to recruit or even to sell to. Because if you're trying to just sell to your network, like, you don't have the resources of the corporation itself. So that's the other thing, is a lot of people will join an MLM and they'll be like, I started a small business. No, Young Living is literally a corporation. You are operating as an independent contractor. You're filing taxes as an independent contractor. Now, I want to go back to the commercial cult concept. As I said, I was like a low-level member of this MLM, but still I spent all this money because I was in this mindset of self-improvement and supporting one another. And I even went to like a presentation from one of the representatives, and she was telling us like all the great ways you could use oils and how the business itself has helped her to support her family. And you really do get into this mindset of like, oh, this is so great. Like, I'm supporting other people. I'm supporting myself. I'm doing something that's healthy for me. It's great. Especially if you are like trying to make money from it, then you have to really buy in to the concept to a degree that I would say is unhealthy. Because with a normal 9 to 5, 8 to 5, let's be real, who fucking has a 9 to 5? If that's what you have, then good for you. But I've only ever had 8 to 5s for my office jobs that I've had. If you have an 8 to 5, you go to work, you do your shit. At 5 o'clock, you clock out, you leave. In most cases, and some you probably do, but in most cases, you don't have to take that home with you. You don't have to be thinking about it. You can just leave it at the door, leave it on your desk for the next day, ideally. With MLMs, they talk a lot about how you have time freedom, but the fact of the matter is, you have to be constantly peddling the lifestyle and the products. And it just becomes a really unhealthy relationship to work, and is like the epitome of hustle culture, in my opinion. Now let's get into the health aspect of Young Living, or lack thereof. Health claims are a big one for these oil companies because, like I mentioned in the beginning, I was attempting to naturally treat my Graves' disease, and also I have depression, blah, blah, blah. And I had heard of some people who were literally able to get off of antidepressants because of essential oils, which is a really dangerous thought to give to somebody, because most people on medication like would rather not be on medication for whatever reason. At that time, I actually wasn't even taking antidepressants yet. I was like a year out from that, but I knew I had a problem with my mental health. And I had, I think, a negative view of Western medicine at that time, which there's a lot of room for criticism when it comes to Western medicine, but it's literally saved my life. So I think you just have to take everything with nuance. We love that word here. So for example, there's this oil I have here called EndoFlex. Endo as in endocrine, like your endocrine system. So it's supposed to support your thyroid, which is like, what does support even mean? Because that's all they're allowed to say, is they're like, this supports breathing, this supports this supports that. And let me say this too. I am not even a big naysayer on essential oils. I think that they can be really positive. Whether it's an actual proven benefit or a placebo effect, they can be effective in some ways. For example, peppermint. I think that if you put, at least for me, if I put peppermint on like my temples or under my nose, then it helps to relieve nausea, and it helps with headaches as well. So I'm not even discounting that they have some benefits, but again, people are literally telling you to ingest these essential oils, and encouraging children to ingest essential oils, because basically what they would have you do is buy these capsules and then just fill them with drops of essential oils. So for example, like I made an allergy pill. They used to, on the Facebook page, they would put like recipes I was getting into Pinterest at the time, which I'm still into Pinterest, just with a cooler account, so follow me there. But I used to follow these like oily pages, and I literally wanted to start selling these and start making them a part of my own income. And thank God I did not, because cringe. But also I feel so bad because, again, they're not like, this isn't even a bad product. Like, that's the thing about MLMs that are sneaky, is they're not necessarily a bad or dangerous product, but you can typically get the same exact product for way cheaper. Also, like I said, one of the arguments for supporting MLMs or somebody in an MLM is that it's like, oh, I'm supporting a small business, they're making money off of this. But think of it this way. If you have a lactose intolerant friend who loves ice cream, and you're like, well, I have this ice cream here, it has lactose in it, but my friend loves ice cream so much, so I'm gonna give her some anyway because I care about her. So it's like the intention is good, but ultimately you're hurting that person. The reason is because the vast majority, like 99% of people in MLMs don't make money from them. They lose money. Even people who make a shit ton of money look at their finances and they're like, oh my God, I actually spent more than I made. That's extremely common in these structures because MLMs have what's called a PV, which is personal volume. So you are required, in order to remain active, to spend a certain minimum every month to remain in the MLM. So that's actually why I ended up being like, oh, I want to try this oil, I want to try that oil. And then it kind of dawned on me. I was like, why the fuck does this oil brand have granola? Why are they selling crackers? Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, what? They started selling makeup. They started a makeup line. It's because they're trying to keep these people excited about it and to keep people in the system, continuing to spend money on new shit that they don't need. Basically, I wised up. I started watching Kiki Chanel's channel. Her channel blew up. Thank God it did, because literally I was like, oh my God, I agree with everything she's saying about MLMs, yet I'm technically in one. Like, I didn't even realize I was in one. I didn't even realize that I was signed up as a distributor. I thought I was just like a customer, like a wholesale customer. But no, I was actually in the MLM, apparently. Had no clue. So again, no shade to the pastor's wife, because like I don't even hold it against her. It's not like I lost thousands of dollars. In my time in Young Living, I probably spent less than $1,000, but still I spent way too much money. I don't even know if it was close. I'm just kind of guessing, but whatever the number was, it was too much. But I don't hold it against anybody personally. Like, I understand why people join MLMs, especially if you're from like an MLM-y culture. For me, I grew up loving Avon, and I actually remember that one of my best friends joined Avon as a distributor, and I remember thinking to myself, like, that seems cool, but that seems like way too much work. And I was like 16 when she joined, which actually I don't even think that's legal, because she was also 16, so I don't know. But I grew up with an Avon lady in my neighborhood, and I fucking loved the Avon little catalogs that she would like drop by our door. I was in Girl Scouts, and we had like a Mary Kay facial presentation lady, and I ended up buying stuff from her. I've had my fair share of fun with MLMs, but it really wasn't until I watched these Kiki Chanel videos, and then like, obviously, it's a whole anti-MLM rabbit hole, but I really just got educated and wised up and was like, OMG. It's just a greedy corporation like any of them, except it's worse, I think, in a lot of ways, because they're openly scamming people. They're continuing to operate as if they support women and support people to become independently wealthy, yet the statistics are right in front of our faces. It's like a sick joke. Okay, like MLMs, they know what they're doing. At least the people at the top do, unless they're extremely delusional or just dumb, but I doubt that. It's pretty clear where the money's coming from. I'm actually gonna make a video in the future specifically about the political side of MLMs and how lobbying has allowed it for these types of businesses to exist in the first place. Because here's the thing, a lot of people in MLMs, I might even get comments like, MLMs can't be pyramid schemes because pyramid schemes are illegal. To which I reply the response that all the YouTubers, the anti-MLM YouTubers say, which is, you know what's also illegal? Murder. But that never happens. That never happens. Oh, you know what's also illegal? Theft. That never happens, though. Speeding. That's illegal. So it's illegal, so it doesn't happen. It's just like, just because it's working and some people are making money doesn't mean that it's legit. It means that the scam is working. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. Public service announcement though, like, I'm not intending to make my channel an anti-MLM channel, but I am personally anti-MLM. This channel is against MLMs simply because I'm against scams, and I believe that, not even I believe, they just are scams. It's just like a fact. But listen, we're all learning. I had to learn that at one point. So when I see people in MLMs, like, I don't even judge them. It's more just like, unless they're being bigoted about something, but if I see like silly posts about it, I'm like, I feel bad for them because it's a rat race. It's like a never-ending cycle of this hustling, spending money, wasting time that you could be doing things that you love or spending time with your family, doing something that's not even going to build your resume. Because, by the way, you should never put an MLM on a resume. It's not legitimate. That's the thing, is if you own a business, you could put that on a resume. If you own an LLC, myself, I'm a sole proprietor, and so I could put my work as an independent contractor on a resume and it would be legitimate. It is legitimate. But if I was in Young Living and I only did that for like 5 years, I can't put that on a resume. That's actually embarrassing. It's looked down upon. If you're curious about this, I would just encourage you to check out other anti-scam channels. Not the Good Girl is another really good one. I really like videos by people like her because they have a lot of experience in MLMs. Not the Good Girl, she was in like 3 MLMs and she was at the top. And she was able to then see that the system is broken, not the MLM, not the company. It's the whole concept and the practice of multi-level marketing. It's a scam. Any hoozle, I'm going to leave it at that for real this time. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Subscribe and stay tuned because, like I said, I'm going to make that video about the politics side of this. And yeah, as an anti-scam channel, I cover other scams. Like I talk about Hillsong and their atrocities, and I have some other fun videos planned in this field. But I also talk about manifesting and cute, fun, girly stuff like that. All genders welcome, by the way. But thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you back soon. Have fun binging my videos.